and welcome. This is Rachel with Blessed Beyond Measure, and today I'm so excited to share a recipe with you that I hold near and dear to my heart. This is banana spice cake, and it's been passed down from generations in my family, and I cannot wait to share it with you. So let's get started. This recipe calls for all-purpose flour, sugar, instant vanilla pudding, pecans, baking powder, baking soda, salt, cinnamon, ginger, allspice, eggs, oil, milk, and 3 bananas. Okay, so we're going to begin by adding our dry ingredients. We're going to start off with 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. When you add flour to a baking dish, it's always good to kind of aerate your flour a little bit because you don't want it really packed in. It's going to keep a lighter batter. Sometimes I'll take a spoon and fill my flour into the measuring cup, but you don't have to do that. You can just aerate it. Okay, now we're going to add 1 2/3 cup of granulated sugar. It's always important whenever you're baking that you use exact measurements. Okay, we're going to add 1 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and baking powder. You guys will have to tell me what your favorite desserts and cakes are around the holidays. This is a must at our Christmas table. Right. Now we're going to add a teaspoon of salt. Now to our spices. We're going to add a teaspoon and 1/4 of cinnamon. And then just a teaspoon each of the allspice and the ginger. All right, we'll give this a stir. Smells like the holidays. All right. So let's go ahead and add our eggs. And I do have my eggs and my milk at room temperature. It's very important that when you are cooking with dairy products that you have your dairy products at room temperature. That's going to help keep your cake more moist and more fluffy. Okay, this recipe calls for 2/3 cup of buttermilk, but I don't know about you, but buttermilk is not always something that I have on hand at all times. So a way that you can make buttermilk is by adding 1 cup of whole milk and 1 tablespoon of vinegar, or you can use lemon juice, some kind of an acid. So with this recipe only needing 2/3 cup of milk, I just added a little bit less than a tablespoon. So we'll go ahead and add that in. And this recipe calls for 1 2/3 cup of vegetable oil. I know that sounds like a lot of oil, but this will really help to keep this cake moist. Okay, and Now we're going to add our bananas. And I like to mash these bananas up. Just grab a paper plate and a fork. We'll get these mashed up. And you want to use a banana that's very ripe. You can see how brown it is on the peel. That means you're going to have a sweeter banana. And I just like to mash this up on a paper plate and get it tossed right in. And I do have my oven preheating at 350. All right. Now, this last ingredient might sound a little unusual, and this is not something that was in the recipe that was given to me many, many years ago, but this is something that I add that I believe makes the cake even more moist. And this is one box of instant vanilla pudding, and this is the 3.4 ounce. And I do add pecans to this recipe. If you have a nut allergy, you can certainly just omit that. And I did measure these out already. This is 2 cups. And my grandma always told me to mix this with a wooden spoon, and this is what I've done for almost 30 years. So if grandma says it, that's what you have to do. Just smelling this batter just brings back so many wonderful memories. You have to share with me some of the memories that you think about every time you make those recipes during the holidays that takes you back. Okay, I got this mixed up. Let me get this cleaned up and I'll meet you right back here and we'll get this poured in our pan and popped in the oven. Okay, so I have my mess cleaned up. And I have a bundt pan here, and I just like to bake this in a bundt pan. This is what we've always did. It's tradition, and it just makes a really pretty design when you turn it out. So I did spray it with this Baker's Joy spray. It's vegetable oil that has a little bit of flour in it, so that'll help it to not stick. So let's get it poured in. All right, smells so good already. All right, so I'm gonna get this popped into the oven. Again, it's set at 350 degrees, and this normally will take anywhere from about 50 to 60 minutes to bake, so just keep an eye on it because it does depend on the kind of pan that you have and your oven, so I'm just gonna keep a close eye on this cake. Okay guys, we're back. This cooked at 350 degrees for 55 minutes in my oven, and it turned out beautifully. Well, now we need to give it a taste. I'm supposed to be bringing this to Christmas dinner tomorrow at my mom's. This was her special request. She sent me a text message last night making sure I was going to bring this. So I guess she won't mind if there's going to be a piece missing because we have to give it a taste. Look how moist that is. I'm excited. Guys, that just has the memories flooding back in my mind. It reminds me so much of holidays, family, Christmas. Oh, I love it. And I hope you're going to give this a try. Today, I wanted to leave you with the reason for the season. It's Jesus Christ. I know that not everyone always feels like celebrating during the holidays because you may have lost a dear one. We did lose my daddy about 2 years ago, so I know sometimes that can linger on through the holidays and make it that much more harder. But if you're a Christian, then you know that there's hope in Jesus Christ and that one day we'll get to see those loved ones again. So if you have any prayer requests, leave them in the comments and I will certainly pray for you. And if you like this video, I ask that you give me a thumbs up, you hit that subscribe button, and we will see you next time. Thank you.